Hi everyone, Earth Angels, Star Seeds, Light Workers, all the real people. Now this is the, what is this? Oh, it's the Sagittarius full moon update. So what we've got here, I've just done some writing, excuse my glasses, I haven't fixed them yet. So I will begin. There's a quote from Ali Matara. He's my favorite Lebanese reporter, and he says, "Hello my enemies, I hope you are having a very, very bad day." And I would also like to pay respects, my respects, to Gregory Scott, the astrologer, who passed away in his sleep. It was a sudden death. He was an extremely great astrologer. I loved him so much. He was able to speak personally with us, and then he was also be able to come up with these little sort of like examples of how to best ourselves. I will really truly miss him, and he was a bright light in this world, and as far as I'm concerned, taken too soon. Now this full moon outpour in Sagittarius is 20 degrees. Sagittarius, a mutable fire, changing, and it's about our beliefs. So what is being illuminated this full moon is how limited ideas became an attitude of belief, a little bit, because it's actually got a lot different as I went in. Gosh, I wish these glasses were just sort of like... So we have a dawning awareness that we are to emulate the way shown to us by Jesus the Galilean, who was crucified for being a rebel, for not following the religious doctrine. He did not obey their moral codes. Look at this woman. She's caught in the act of adultery. The law says stone her to death. What do you say, Jesus? He says, those who haven't sinned can cast the first stone. And there was no one. Okay, so he healed people when they presented themselves, and he argued about religious laws, and he rose Lazarus from the dead, leading everyone to practically follow him and leave the synagogue. So 6 days later, he was lashed with these evil whips. He was punched. He was spat on. He was mocked. And after that fucking torture, he was made to walk through the streets, public shaming, humiliating, kind of a ritual. And then he was crucified with nails hammered through his wrists. And both feet were put like this, and a nail went straight through the both of them. You can watch and see that for yourself. There's a shroud. They call it the Shroud of Turin because it was found in France at a place called Turin. But it's obviously the Shroud of Zeus ben Pantera, or as he was known in the Hebrew, Yesu. Yesu. Now, Jesus is a man that I have come to greatly love, and I study his history a lot, and I sort through the lies. Zeus ben Pantera is the reason the Galileans went to war with the Romans, and he is the reason that Nero killed himself. And you must learn to see through the lies and into the truth. He didn't die for my sins. He died because of the sins of the synagogue and the sins of the Romans who followed the rules and followed the orders. You know what I'm saying? He died for their sins. And I've dreamed about being at Skull Rock where they hammered him. And I've also had a couple of dreams of Jesus and James, and only a few months ago I had a dream and I was with a small group of people and we were walking with Jesus, and that's a story for another time because it's a great story and I've written quite a lot about that as well. So Jesus had said that no one comes to the Father except through him. And the Father is Great Spirit, Chief Father. So I am a firm believer in reincarnation, and I have used a YouTube video meditation to go into past lives. I've gone into 3, and and I've come to the firm belief that this battle that we're in, whether it's carpet bombing through Lebanon or Syria or Palestine, or it's a family battle of tearing lives apart, both are evil and both are war. And I've spent quite a lot of my life looking back in time in one form or another, and history does reveal a reset. And I believe they tried very hard to wipe out bloodlines and to keep the darkness going all the way for the total destruction of our earthling realm of paradise. Very jealous, malicious, spiteful, dark forces work to destroy our Creator's beautiful realm. Yet, even though those 3 hooded monk Templars, who are seen a lot in near-death experiences, not me, thank God, are the ones who try to capture souls or put darkness into souls. So there's a lot of near-death experiences where, you know, they've been, they assume they're dead, these people, and these 3 hooded monks appear. Some of them are on the table, the operating table and stuff, and quite a lot of them actually, interestingly, and then there's like a room, and that's where these 3 monks are. Now I've got a real developing theory about this, and I think it's got something to do with the Templars and also the Ring of Solomon. And I think that these Templars, the Dark Knights I call them, did something and they capture souls, okay? So there's like this collection holding area where souls get recycled, and that is not the same as reincarnation. So there's recycling, and you come back down and then through into the bloodline, and then there's reincarnation where you come from way up above and down and into. So you can only reincarnate through your DNA bloodlines, and the good Lord, on divine timing, with purified ancient souls, sent us here on assignment. If you know that you have been set apart, if you know you're different, if you're not the same as everyone else, I'm talking to you. Okay. So we are not the same as captured souls who are recycled, and I've come to believe we can't change them. No matter how much we love them, no matter how much love we have in our heart, changing them is not our mission. We each have our own assignment. We have our own abilities, we have our own special gifts, and we are to use them. We are to use them all the time. We are to use them no matter what. And we must not be afraid of them. We must not be self-conscious about other people seeing them. We focus on the immediate need. Bam, get in there, do it. Do it for her as long as it takes to get it done. And then don't worry about all the chaos that comes and tries to ruin. You do your part, okay? That's your mission. Now, there is to be no more hesitation It matters not what anyone says about you or does to you. You get up and you carry on with your God-given purpose. I need you to believe in yourself. The dark agents certainly do, and that's why they seek to harm us. Believe in yourself strongly, and know, even if you are whipped, tortured, crucified, you will rise again. And the good Lord will remove you to a safe haven where you can continue to cultivate your spiritual abilities. This outpour is about us, not them, not the agents of darkness. The tables have turned. We are healing fast. I'm healing dramatically fast. I'm so excited. I cut my toenails today, and usually that has become like such a mission because I was severely afflicted with so much witchcraft, and now that every curse has been lifted from me, everything, even down to this neck injury that I've had all my life since I was about 17, I think. It might have been 19. I think 19. So it's a very long time, and my neck was so bad that I used to always have to put my hand here to turn my head. Yes, that's a big mission there. But anyway, now it's relieved. This weird bruising sensation came, and I was like, what's happening? And then it lightened. So, oh my gosh. Now, we are healing fast now that all black magic is returned to sender. Now, we didn't say return to sender. This is divine timing. Okay? We ask for protection. That's what we do. We call for assistance. The end. We don't do any spelly spells. You are brave. Now, be covered in your divine protection and only move in safe environments and live the fullness of your potential. If you're on an assignment, you will be put in environments that are not safe. They might, look safe, but you will notice that they are not. But when you're on assignment, you go in and you do what you've been called to do. And then after, when everything goes to shit because you saved someone's life or whatever, like I saved my father's life, right? He was dying, and he was on his last breaths, and they left him there to die. This is at the hospital. He'd had heaps of strokes, and he'd been in ICU for a while, and they brought him into this room just to say goodbye kind of idea. And I was told last minute, I was actually told he was dead at first, and then I was told that, he's dying kind of idea. He's like, not go long. So I went there, and he was like, And I was like, Dad, do you want to live? And he was like, yes, I do want to live. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to breathe some life into you. So I breathed some life into him, and long story short, he was blind. He ended up being able to see. He was completely, his whole body couldn't work. I got his whole body working. Took like all that night the next day, and he ended up taking his first steps. And I mean, it was like a very, very special time for us between my father and me. Nobody can take that away. But anyway, his partner, who had become the power of attorney, banned me from the hospital and was literally tried to destroy everything. So my dad he dreamed it, and he got an extra 10 years. They says, you got an extra 10 years, don't fuck it up. But anyway, she destroyed it, and ended up transporting him back to a different hospital, and when he was in the ambulance, he died. So I want you to know, you do what is in you to do. You do your very best. And what the agents of the darkness do, that is not for you to control. Do your best. I sneaked back into the hospital. I rang. All this sort of stuff. She set up all these things and they wouldn't put the call through and just all this different stuff. I got to sneak in though a couple of times and she'd stroked him out again and I was able to relieve that. And what an experience. But yeah, so I want you to know we're here and we are doing God's work. Your God's work, my God's work. Whether it's the same God or not, I think we all have different gods. But you know what? There's one creator. And a rebellion actually started with the darkness. They rebelled and there was a war in heaven because women were so beautiful and these watchers wanted what the earth was privileged enough to have. And how it got to destruction, I don't know, but it was a mess. As soon as they got here, everything just went wrong. And that's how the giants were born and all sorts of terrible things started. War on Earth. And they did all the gene splicing and made things like the mermaids and the centaurs and the goat pan creatures, satyrs, and lots of chimeras, however you say the word. They did that. And with all that's in the Garden of Eden, they did that. And that's where they created the psychopaths because they took Adam, who was a normal earthling, and they spliced his DNA, took out the male positive, and created the female, which is not the same as woman, which is the negative, and that's how the negative blood type started, okay? But sadly, it created psychopaths, and Abel was a psychopath. He was the one who slaughtered sheep. Cain was a psychopath. He was the one who murdered Abel. And Seth is a psychopath, and he is the one who chopped up Osiris, hacked him to pieces. Okay, so there was this bloodline that started running through earthlings from this splicing, and that is how the darkness was able to get into earthlings and come through all this dark agent stuff to where we are right now. Okay, so that's a brief summary of it. Now, I am sending you my love, and hopefully, if not now, then very soon, you too will have all your curses lifted from you, and then you will just miraculously feel amazing, and you'll have the best sleep in the world, and all the things that are happening to me, I wish them for you. So I'm sending you my love. Ka kite, stay strong, and talk soon. Bye.